Oh wait. Hello everybody, this is Make It Better, and today we're doing What If Deku Had Nightmares Part 8. Let's start where I left off. I believe, yes, they were leaving the changing room. Nothing really happens in the girls' locker room for some reason. They were just more of talking to each other, become friendly. Here we go. As they were, Zuko was the first to get in line, and Aizawa was kind of impressed. Well, surprised, but it didn't matter at all. As the rest of the kids finally comes in, what the? All right. What was it? I'm trying to remember exactly how I wanted my story to go. And it's getting a little harder. What was it? Okay. Aizawa explained about the ball test and everything else. As he brings up, well, Bakugo. For his fiery temper, but his quirk. Asking Bakugo to come up and throw the ball. As Bakugo did, without his quirk. Aizawa was telling everybody that for this test you're allowed to use your quirk in any way, form, and fashion to get a better grade. As now the class gets a little hype and excited to use their quirks. And Aizawa says does not like it, and also said, let's make it more fun. Whoever has the worst grade will be expelled from my class. As everybody now gets scared, but two people. And that's Momo and Zuko. Zuko thinks he can pass with a higher grade, and Momo, she can actually, well, she thinks something is true, something else is happening. So they do their workouts, how many push-ups, how many, well, they do the regular stuff that's not even used for quirks, not really. So the push-ups, the curl-ups, the pull-ups, what else was there? The hand grips, and then the side to side. At this time, people are starting to use their quirks, but Zuko tried his best not to use it for anything really. When it was Zuko's turn, he did it and went on with his thing. He thought it was a good score. Well, it's always getting a little pissed because this kid shows that he has super strength, but he's not using it for anything. So he decided to do one more thing. He asked for them, it was in the schedule for another thing, but to have Zuko, well, basically throw the ball. Zuko did, but Aizawa tells him, why are you holding back? Use your full power. As Zuko, as he had to turn around, said, okay. As he was charging up one for all for 10%. And when he was about to throw it, Aizawa canceled out his quirk. Zuko felt that and stopped the very thing and stopped trying to throw. He looked over to Aizawa while he was about to throw his, well, scarf towards him. Zuko dodged immediately and asked what's going on. Well, why are you attacking me? As Aizawa, well, retrieving his scarf bag, asking him why, but not, kid, you're supposed to use your quirk without breaking yourself. If you don't know how to control your own fucking quirk, then get out of school. Zuko's a little confused on. Okay. Yes, sir. He grabs the ball, looks to Aizawa, and he charges up one for all. This time throughout his whole arm. How the cow? Why is people going slow? This isn't even the highway. As he charged up the ball and prepared to throw, Aizawa thinks to himself, this kid is gonna fucking break his arm. As he pulled out his phone and start to dial the number for a recovery girl. Zuko surprised him and everybody in the class that he threw the furthest out of everybody else. It was 10%, so 100 meters. I believe I'm doing that. Yes. Just adding one more zero. Wait, that's fine. 1,000 meters. That's what it was. I'm trying to make it fair. Ooh, that is close. Back to it. What was it? Shit, I actually forgot. As Zuko turns around with 1,000 meters under his name and won, Aizawa was shocked to see that. Was surprised by that, of course. But when he looks down on his arm, on the boy's arm, it shows no tearing, no ripping, no broken or bleeding hands. Zuko looks over to Aizawa, walks towards him, and he's face to face, and asks Aizawa if he knows exactly what his quirk is, which Aizawa said, no, I do not. But I assumed that you were holding back because you couldn't control it. As Aizawa was saying this quieter, and Zuko said, yes, I cannot control it, but I do not wish to break anything around me either. I don't care if I break anything. If I break something here, then I broke my rule. And then Aizawa said, your rule? What is your rule? Zuko said, if I cannot fix it, I'm not breaking it. That's a good rule. Aizawa said, fine. Take your spot. Next. And Zuko gets to his spot, and everybody else had their chance. All of them are now average because comparing to what the fuck is with these lights? I can't see a thing. Okay. Yeah, basically I need to speed up. That's good. Now, where was I? Everybody's been having their ball throw, and Zuko's talking to Uraka just a little bit more until she was caught up, and when she was told to throw the ball, she just threw it weakly, and it started to float straight up. Until a few moments passed by, Aizawa showed them the number infinity. It actually went out in space. It's still going from this day. Zuko's, well, everybody was surprised by this, that she broke the limit. But it was a really good showing. Now, Aizawa's putting all the grades together for the final grade and showing from the top to the least. Zuko's at the middle average because of that ball throw, and he impressed Aizawa not going to be expelled. Who is going to be expelled is, as he says this out loud to everybody, now, it's nobody. That was just a ruse to get you all serious about the test. For some of you, it did not work. As he looks over to Zuku and kept talking. He explained for the scheduling for the rest of the day, and the whole class was scared at the same time surprised. It was all just a ruse to make them work harder. And Momo interrupts and said, well, he was lying, of course. I thought you guys knew that. And half of them believed her, but Zuko said, actually, he wasn't. He wanted one person to be expelled, at very least, just to show that he's serious about his job. And the person he was trying to expel was me, since he thought I was unreliable. Am I right, Sir Eraserhead? Aizawa was caught off guard by that. He didn't say his name, or his hero name, but this kid knew it. And he replies, saying, yeah, I figure you'll be the weakest out of everybody here. I was wrong, but it doesn't mean I can't expel anybody else. Zuko said, I'm fully aware of the last year incident of you expelling your whole classroom. Aizawa said, yes, that was me. And the whole classroom is shocked to see that Zuko knows who he is as a pro hero, and Aizawa actually expelled the whole classroom last year, which could have been a second year's, but they never had a chance. Now, everybody gets back to their respective seats and took their lesson for the rest of the day. At the end of the day, Aizawa leaves, and he says a special teacher will come in and teach heroics class. And they're surprised, and well, they're not surprised, they're excited on who's going to be teaching them. It could be any kind of pro hero, and some of them are excited to say their favorites. Until All Might walked into the door as if he was a normal person, not acting like it's all a stage. Yep, this is going to be longer. Now, Zuko sees All Might. He does not reply at all. All Might is getting all the attention from everybody, and very excitedly and happy, grateful to see him. Zuko, why can't I say his name? Izuku is just watching all of this. After they finally died down, Zuko said, oh, hi All Might. As All Might replied back to Zuko, oh, hello Zuko. It's very nice to see you in class 1A. I see that you passed the trials. Zuko said, yes, I have. Let's get back to the classroom. I think everybody's getting a little mad. As he looks around, seeing how surprised that he's just talking to All Might as if he was a regular person, as he is. Now moving on, All Might explained about everybody needs to look good for hero work. And what's the best way than using these costumes that you have submit? and submitted in your measurements. He pressed the button. The luggage come out for a number of each student, and now they are taken to another area. I forgot the place. Sorry. All Might explains the rules. One team is going to be the hero team, and the other will be the villain team. Their score, how they're going to go about it, everything in canon, of course. Now, when All Might pulled out a number, well, a letter, it shows that Zuko is going to be the heroes. Zuko and Uraka. And what's against him is the loud guy and the annoying guy. Sorry, I just need to be quiet for one moment. Back on it. Zuko is talking to Uraka a little bit more, but this time with a plan. And let me explain what his costume is. In the original, it was all green and some support items. For right now, Zuko has some support items around him, but on his outfit, it's black for about 6 or a foot on his arms all over and his legs, and then it started to fade into green, and it turned to green in the middle. Oh crap, I missed my turn. But also he's wearing some white gloves, and these gloves are made of his hair, for his quirk to not be overused on it. He's still grabbing onto his wrist as he's getting prepared for the plan. He doesn't know by the guy's explosions, and he's talking to Uraka. He thinks it would be best if she stayed back about a few feet, and Zuko takes in the brunt of the force. Uraka's okay with this, but she wants to help as much as she can. So she tries to explain like some rules or probably a plan that will probably work even better. As he's talking back, and the buzzer goes off for them to enter the building. A few turns in the hallway, checking in each room. Everything seems fine until they hear explosion coming from the other side. It's getting louder and louder up until Zuko sees the guy coming down the hallway. Zuko pushes Uraka back, pushing her to the corner. And when Zuko turns back, the kid is still on there. Zuko ready himself as Bakugo throws a huge explosion at his face and see what this kid is capable of. Zuko took the brunt of it. He didn't know what he could do, so he just got attacked back, pushing him back to the wall, making a little crater, but just enough where Zuko could get back up. And thinking to himself, this will be his first real fight in a very long time. So he doesn't want to mess this up since All Might is now watching. He's ready his hands and start fighting against Bakugo, throwing some punches, kicks, without using his quirk. Everything goes well and done until Bakugo starts to insult him on how pitiful he is, has such a weak quirk that he can't even use it for a fight, and now he has to protect some girl, and Zuko now thinks this kid is not acting. And this kind of pisses him off because he's supposed to be a hero. It doesn't matter if you're trying to change your personality for this, you still have to be a hero. So Zuko's charged up one for all, 1%, just to see what would happen. So he throw a punch, and the kid laughs, saying that's such a weak punch. I can easily dodge it without using my quirk and being all cocky. Now you guys will know that Bakugo, since he hadn't had Deku anywhere around him, had other people, and he bullied them. So his arrogance and his belief that he's the best at everything is way higher than Kanden. And I'm going to do it on purpose. As Zuko kept fighting him, slowly but surely, he's rising up the percentage. And now Bakugo can't withstand the fighting. What he's fighting against is Zuko at 5%. He's starting to get beaten down a lot faster, but he's throwing in so much harder hits on Zuko. Zuko's taking Bakugo. Sorry, it was coughing fit. Now they're fighting against it, and Bakugo is getting pummeled down all the way to the other side of the hallway. Now the Bakugo is getting more pressure to do his final move. As he pushed back Zuko just far enough, Uraka finally had the chance to go into the next room and up to the higher levels. Now she's getting up to Ida. Now moving back to Zuko and Bakugo. Why the hell am I coughing now? Zuko is starting to get warmed up, and he brought his percentage up to 8% now. As he was about to throw another punch, he sees Bakugo lifting up his gauntlet towards Zuko and said, and now All Might telling him to not throw that huge explosion towards Zuko, he will kill him. And Bakugo said he won't if he dodges, as he pulled the pin, throwing a huge explosion at Zuko. Zuko covered himself in electricity all over his body. The moment he did that, he felt a shock urge of energy, making him move back all the way to the other side of the hallway, but the explosion is just a little bit faster, and going all the way to Zuko, hitting him on the end of the hallway. Zuko can only do was to dodge or get out of the way. He didn't know that he was close enough to get to another room, so he took the brunt of the force, and it was a lot. As Bakugo is watching with joy that his gauntlet worked, he sees that Zuko is all the way on the other side of the hallway, and his arms are, well, red, red, but what the hell? I can't breathe. And it shows that his whole sleeve on his costume on both of his arms are gone, and the gloves are also disappeared. Since they're made of hair and fibers, it was kind of flammable. So Zuko shakes them off and starts whipping them around. Now he's focused, and he had to use the other quirk. He thinks it'll be easier now that he can control it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Izuku raising up his fist and gathering up the black liquid in his hand as he's running towards Bakugo. As Bakugo is saying, "Oh hell yeah!" He's pulling up his other gauntlet and pull the trigger as well. Zuko, now knowing what's going to happen, decides to run faster, using One for all the way to 10%, dodging the assumed area, and Bakugo is tracking him. When it gets to a wall, Bakugo pulls the trigger, and that whole explosion pushed back on Bakugo, but not Zuko, since Zuko jumped to another wall and then hit Bakugo straight on his face. As Bakugo felt the punch from Zuko and his explosion push him back on the wall and making a huge indent. After the explosion was over, it shows that Bakugo is still conscious. And Zuko, as he do the punch, he saw indent of black ooze on his face. Zuko is a little worried because he did not do that on purpose, so he tried to wipe it away. so, but it was too late. Bakugo took in that black ooze, and he passed out. Luckily, it was only with what full contact. It was only 2 fingers, but it looked like it was a full indent of his fist, of 4 fingers. So Bakugo is completely knocked out. Zuko is worried, so he put a note on him and then wrapped him up, showing to everybody that he's captured. Now moving over to another side of Oraka, chuckling at Ila's attempts on being a villain. It was kind of funny, but Ila's still very new to all of this. Zuko finally getting back up there, and Uraka is throwing a huge meteor shower. At this moment, Ila is dodging all these rocks because the whole explosion was shaking the room that they were in. That some rocks finally fell off, and Uraka used all of it and was using it as meteor showers to hit Ila at any way she could. But none of them are hitting. And then when Ila was about to hit her on the side, pushing in as he did, kicking her all the way to the door, and breaking the door coming out of the room. Zuko was fast enough to charge up with 10% one for all, went all the way to the top, see Oraka, and checked on her if she's okay. She says she's fine, but he's really fast. Zuko asked her where's the bomb at, and she said over in one area. Zuko said, "Okay, I'll be the distraction. You takes the bomb, okay?" Uraka said, "Sure." And let me take a breather. Zuko said, "Of course." As she finally took a breather, and Ila is still in his room cleaning up everything for the next attack, instead of going after her and making sure she's out of the game, which was his downfall. Zuko is walking in slowly and make it look like that he's badly injured, as he's holding up his arm, breathing really heavily, and looks over to Ida. The other guy, he was too strong. As Ida feels kind of pity, he said, well, he doesn't know what to say because he feels like a hero, and he's trying to help him. Say, "Are you okay? Are you?" Forgetting that he's supposed to be in a hero role, a villain role. Zuko, when he got close enough, quickly turned on One for All, smacked him on his face, pushing him, making him spin around a few times. When he stopped right in front of Zuko, Zuko punched him into his gut, pushing him all the way to the wall where the window was, breaking the window. But Ida is very shocked by all of this. As all of this was going on, Uraka was going over to the bomb. Ida saw her coming from the back and going for the bomb. As he immediately tried to put himself back together and go straight towards Uraka, Zuko interrupted him and took the brunt of the kick that was supposed to be for Uraka to him. It was a lot weaker, but he took the brunt of the force and tells Uraka to run for it, as she does. As she was a few seconds closer, Ila tries to do his turbo burst, cerebral burst. As he charged it up, it was too late. Hero team wins. Ila is very shocked by this and died down kill his attempt, but he's falls on his butt and said that was surprising. I didn't think you will do such a thing. And he looked over to Zuko, said, well, I wasn't acting. That really hurt. Ow. You kicked hard, man. As everybody was surprised, and All Might actually turned off the cameras and told everybody to come back in for the next team. As they were going, Uraka sees that Zuko is kind of sweating a bit, and she kind of pokes at him by this, saying, oh, well, she's just playing around, since they're more at the friendly terms. Zuko doesn't mind it, but she picked at his arm and saw there's some black ooze on her finger, and she asked, "What's this? Where did you get this from?" As Zuko looks over and sees that Uraka has a drop of his sweat that's turned into the black ooze, and to his shock, he grabbed onto her hand. She's kind of blushing by this, and said, "Oh, what are you doing?" And Zuko sucked on her finger, taking the very blood, the black ooze off of her hand. As he take it out, he gets flashbacks of his time, but since he's so used to it, he doesn't take the backlash of the very quirk. As Uraka is kind of blushing and just holding the finger that he sucked on, she has no words to say, and Zuko said, "Oh, um, uh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't explain about what my quirk is." As they're walking towards the area, as he explained that his quirk, as he let down some droplets, and these are just small ones where it's barely noticeable until they fall off and hit the ground, show some black liquid. And Zuko said, "Those it seep into other people's skin and mine, and focus on your worst nightmares come to life. And I didn't control how much concentrated the power is, so you could have gotten the worst of it if I didn't do that. I'm very sorry if I overstep on a few boundaries." And Uraka said, "No, you didn't overstep. I get it. It's fine. It's fine." Zuko said, "Are you sure? It seems like it still affected you." As he hold up to her hand and see if there was any, and he's kind of touching it, and she's blushing by this point, and seeing if there's any more black ooze on her hand, and a little bit up her arm. But Uraka said, "No, I'm fine. It's just that small part." As Zuko said, "Okay, that's good. Uh, all right, let's get back." With Uraka being very flustered by all of this, she still looks at the finger. And when Zuko was far away enough, she just had the very finger touch her lips. And I'm gonna end it at this point. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day, and I hope you enjoyed that snippet. Alright then, bye.